The Bristol child sex abuse ring was a group of 13 Somali men who committed sexual offences against underage teenage girls in Bristol, in southwestern England. In November 2014, they were convicted of offences including rape, paying a child for sex, causing or inciting child prostitution, sexual acts with children and sex trafficking. Crimes: the men abused and prostituted their victims across Bristol, using hotels, private houses, parks and public toilets. Some were drug dealers selling heroin and cocaine, while others were described as well-educated men with good prospects. As in similar sex abuse cases in other parts of Britain, their victims were typically vulnerable girls who were supposedly under local authority care. The gang coerced the girls into sex with small payments of money, gifts of drugs and alcohol, and by persuading them that having sex with many men was part of Somali culture and tradition. In a police interview, said Zakaria referred to two 13-year-old victims of one incident of abuse as dirty slags who knew that their function was to suck dick and then fuck off. He had trafficked a small 13-year-old girl to a sex party in a hotel room in Bristol, where he raped her twice in what the trial judge, Julian Lambert, described as a rough, callous and very nasty manner and using significant force. Zakaria left the girl, totally humiliated and bleeding. The girl was then raped again by Yusuf Abdurazak, whom the judge described as acting without humanity and with no pity whatsoever. Perpetrators: a total of 13 men were convicted. Their names, convictions and sentences are listed below. Reaction in Bristol: The Guardian reported that the case had caused huge concern in Bristol and sent shockwaves through the close-knit Somali community there. Muna Abdi, chair of the Bristol Somali Forum, said that the offences were evil acts, utterly condemned by the community. Hugh Sheriff, regional director for the children's charity Barnardos, said the case was the tip of the iceberg and that similar sexual abuse was still taking place in Bristol and across the rest of the country. Police in Bristol have active investigations underway into similar sex crimes committed by 49 other suspects of various communities and ethnic backgrounds. Responding to the convictions, a local head teacher wrote in The Guardian's dedicated education section of how schools can't cope with the tide of child sexual exploitation. The head teacher expressed dismay at the way in which the perceived ethnicity of the offenders had harmed race relations in Bristol and described how it had been necessary to devote the month before the verdict to redoubling our focus on combating racism. The head teacher noted how already struggling communities had been further demoralized by a case on this scale and spoke of feeling dread at what else is out there. See also list of sexual abuses perpetrated by groups. References. External links: 13 men guilty of enforced prostitution and rape of vulnerable girls in Bristol, The Guardian, the 27th of November 2014. Bristol sex gang, the horrifying ordeals of the brave 13-year-old who came forward, The Independent, the 27th of November 2014. A gang who were part of an inner-city sex ring involving the abuse, rape and prostitution of British girls have been jailed for more than 40 years. The Evening Standard, the 28th of November 2014. Schools can't cope with the tide of child sexual exploitation. The Guardian, the 2nd of December 2014.